So Dhruv, Saif operates as a wealth management platform in Singapore. And needless to say, it is an overcrowded space. So how do you even differentiate in an overcrowded space like this?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and I think it's a question we've been answering. Even before Saif started, how do you really differentiate? If you see, the way I've always said is that you have to think of it like how big is the whole opportunity, what is the market we are going after, and then what is the impact of the existing players, so as to speak. So if you look at the wealth opportunity, right? So now we have operations in Singapore, Hong Kong, Australia. But let's say specifically for Singapore, Singapore itself is north of $1 trillion opportunity, as well documented in multiple, different aspects. Now, if you think of it from that perspective, then on that you overlay culturally in Singapore, how we are largely attuned to save, right? The saving rates in Singapore normally are, whichever benchmark you look, 2 to 3 times of the Western counterparts. So you kind of will expect that this saving over time will start getting invested. Of course, we don't need to get into the whole inflation. I think it's one of the most used words in the last 12 months. But as the saving gets invested, people will start looking for solutions which offer quality access, solutions which offer quality advice, and solutions which offer quality affordability at price points and all. So I think the first and foremost is the aspect that, to your question, how do you really differentiate? I think a lot of players are trying to address it. But I think for us, the cornerstone of building the business and what really differentiates has been innovation to the core. Now, if you think we are the last entrants, I think there were many entrants who came, before us, and some are around, some are not around. But the way how we did it differently is we were not like, oh, we have a suite of these portfolios and that is it. We kept on evolving the platform. Back in 2020, we did the first of its kind partnership with SGX to launch a direct indexed REIT kind of offering. Very popular, gives passive income.
Yep.
Unheard of before in Singapore, but we offered this level of service. So using Saif REIT Plus is cheaper than you buying an ETF. And that's the reason why if it was a standalone ETF, it would probably be the largest in the market right now. So that, taking the middlemen away in this process and making it very streamlined. For example, one. The second one, we launched Asia's first custom ETF portfolio builder. Now, whether you invest 10,000 or whether you invest $1 million with us, you can build from a list of curated ETFs that you can choose. Target a bit more at people who kind of, know what they want to do. And the third, which is probably more recent times, is that we launched the region's first, neo broker offering fractional, trading, free trades, recurring buy, and many, many unique features. So I feel, and this I always say, right? See, no matter what domain you are in, if the domain is doing well, you will get competition.
Yes.
But competition is good. Competition
Right.
forces us to innovate. Competition forces us to stay on the top of ourselves, right? So that is the broader way how we differentiate. But to come to the opportunity, and this is where it gets really exciting, is, especially like in Singapore, they normally say you have maybe 3 of players in our kind of domain. The reality is the 3 of these players, we spoke about the $1 trillion plus opportunity in Singapore, you don't even cover like 0.5% of it.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, even if these players grew 10x from here, they will still end up covering 5% of the market.
Right.
So in my view, we are scraping the surface. And as I tell many people, we are today in wealth where, ride hailing was maybe 10 years ago or e-commerce was 20 years ago. It's a very exciting time. And I would say that there's nothing to be afraid of the competition. But in fact, it encourages us to, out-innovate and continue to out-innovate as a company.